a backup recording. But
doing it anyway.
Yep. No harm in having a backup. All right, I'm going to start then. 3, 2, 1. And this is Mask of Nyarlathotep. We are back with Maxine, Lottie, and William, where they have actually, I think they would say, had a pretty good session last session. They've made their way into the mountain and poked around without dying a horrible death, and they have discovered what appears to be a secret door. Once again, the finders of secret doors. So let us begin where we left off. So we were here, and so you are there. As I said, this wall starts moving, and moving in an upward direction, and there is no real light coming from the other side. So really, it's only the dim light of your muted flashlight, artificially muted flashlight, that lights anything under it. And I can sort of imagine you holding that light down, and as it goes up and it reveals, bits of stone floor. Clearly, there's a space behind it. What are you all doing as this moves up?
Now, we had heard of a ruckus begin not long ago. Am I correct?
A ruckus?
Like, I thought we heard noise, like people making some sort of...
I believe you did hear some, and then you heard somebody shouting something, and then it got quiet.
Okay. Wanted to make sure I remembered that correctly.
And that was coming from in this cavern here, clearly. You're not 100% sure where it came from, but it's not right next to you. And it's definitely in this cavern. It's not, on the other side of a wall. You can hear it very plainly, the shout anyway, echoing through the chamber.
Okay, it's not coming from deeper within this tunnel that we're going into?
It is not.
Okay.
I think I interrupted.
That was just before the door started to open.
Lottie takes a few steps back from the door sliding, wipes the sweat, her face, shirt, looks over to William. Lottie, you want to maybe take a bit of a peep inside?
And
William,
it's still rumbling up, and it's hard for William to even hear what you're saying over the rumble of stone.
William will turn to Lottie, trying to discern what she's saying, but as he does that, he's starting to get a little nervous too about the voices from behind. So he takes the flashlight, and is Maxine kind of moving ahead of him into the tunnel?
No, she doesn't have any light source. She kind of moved to the side of the tunnel. Like, I think that the tunnel was right here. So she had kind of moved aside of it.
Well, actually, you can see that the width of the tunnel is this whole
okay.
area.
Yeah, okay, so as the door lifts up, I guess she's just kind of watching it.
And the door, by the way, is almost this entire thing. It's like a big garage door.
Crazy.
It's not a tiny little door. It's a big door. It's like the whole wall section.
Nice.
She's just looking anxious, although I doubt you can see it kind of biting her lip, fretting about those voices and the slow journey that this door is making.
Yeah, it's definitely not quick. This is a slow process. It's rising about a foot every 10 seconds. It is not a fast process.
She'll get close to the others and try to get close enough that they can hear, maybe get right up to William's ear. Try to get in there, see if we can find a way to close it behind us, but we gotta get through there fast.
Yeah, can William duck under it yet? Or is it
There's a couple feet now, easily. Okay. So yes, you could roll under it for sure, because you don't have a pack or anything on.
Okay. He won't roll under it, but he'll take the flashlight out from underneath his jacket or his shirt anyway, and kind of aim the flashlight underneath at the opening to see, make sure there's no feet or anyone standing near the door.
Good thought.
like about 50 pairs of feet there. Yeah. No, you don't see any feet on the other side of the door. It looks like a fairly level, stone floor, pretty much like what you're on now. Again, a little rough, not perfectly level, but more or less.
And then he will, as soon as he can, he'll pull his pistol out as well in his other hand this time now, since he's not going to be hiding the flashlight under his shirt. And go down to one knee and kind of shimmy under there as soon as it lifts up high enough for him to...
Okay. Yeah. All right. You can do that.
And then he starts to look around with the flashlight and his pistol in hand.
It appears to be, I can't really show you here, but it appears that it is more or less a passage of this width that goes on for a ways. And then makes you can see it start to make a turn to the right.
Does there appear to be any mechanism on the wall that closes the door?
You shine your light over there. There is not even concealed. There's just a recess at about shoulder height in the wall over here.
And William looks back to the others and waves for them to come in.
Lottie will flatten herself against the ground, sort of army crawl underneath with, awkwardly, of course, with Izzy's cage in hand.
Okay.
Max will gesture for the others. If Ingrid's not paying attention, she's...
Oh, she is. She's curious about what's going on here.
Basically, Max plans to go last.
She's paying attention, but you also do notice, she's watching, but you can tell as you watch her that her attention is divided between the door rising up and this stone thing next to you. She's got one hand on the stone statue and she's gazing up at it, and then she kind of glances over to see what's going on and then gazes back up. And Wanjira is crouched beside her with the spear pointing out, just kind of in a ready, nervous crouch. But she's, glancing over her shoulder at what's going on behind her as well.
Max will tug at Ingrid and try to get Wanjira's attention. Come on, let's get through.
You can see a slight reluctance in Ingrid, but she kind of pulls herself away from the sculpture and comes with you. More or less lets herself be pulled along with you, right? I mean, you kind of have to guide her a little bit. She seems distracted.
It's not good. Is
On the plus
Wanjira
side,
coming?
on the plus side, now you just kind of have to duck to get under it. Enough time has passed that it's not that hard to get under. Yes, Wanjira is coming last behind the two of you. It looks like she's backing in.
As we enter, and it looks like Wanjira is backing in, Maxine says to William, "Did you find a lever?"
And as she asks, he's kind of looking down deeper towards the corner, and then he shines the flashlight over to the lever on the wall.
Yeah, this lever is in the opposite position of the other one, which I believe was up. So this one is pointed down.
Are any critters? Did you see it? Any critters?
Shine the flashlight in there. No, you don't see any critters in there.
No, it looks all clear.
So which way does this lever pull?
So this one you'll push up.
Push up.
It's still rumbling upwards.
Nobody's got anything we could put under that lever, like a big rock. Might slow them down from getting this thing open. Oh, what about that clock?
And then it thunders to a stop. It like and the whole ground shudders for a moment when the door stops moving. And there's a kind of a silence except for the wind chimes.
What if we shoved that? If we put the clock like in there underneath the lever, does it look like it would be tall enough to prevent the lever from moving down to an appropriate position?
The lever is already down.
Oh, I thought you said this had to be pushed up.
Well, you're gonna have to push it up now. I mean, right now it's in a down.
Oh yeah, what I'm saying is, and she's making an engineering assumption that may be completely faulty.
Okay.
That when someone tries to pull the lever on the other side, it's going to make this one go down. But if something's in the way of this lever as it goes down, maybe it'll mess up the mechanism enough that it slows them down. So my question is...
you can't be certain of that, but it's certainly possible. It's possible that that's how it works.
And so my question is, if we put that clock in the way, would that provide interference from what they can see visually? Judging by the size.
It looks like it could. Yeah, it could definitely get in the way. It'll fit between, judging from the size and angle. If you moved it up the same amount that it's down, you can see there's enough space between the lever and the bottom of this recess that you could shove the clock in there, and it should get in the way.
Max says, "I'm going to go grab the box so we can shove it in there. Can you hand me the flashlight real quick?"
And William hands it to her quickly.
And just as fast as she can, like we said, we put it down on the ground over there. She's going to hustle out there, find it, and then hustle back.
Put what down on the ground?
We took the clock off the wall.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did. Okay. Yeah, so, you grab the clock and come back. Okay.
All right. So, push the lever. Crunk.
Yeah, William will hit the switch. Is Lottie gonna do it?
William wants to do it, that's fine.
Come on, let Lottie.
Oh.
Yeah, Lottie can do it. Her shoulder was messed up though, so.
I don't know if she can do it because she's got a messed up shoulder and the lizard in one hand.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know if I could make some sort of maybe mechanical repair check to make sure this works?
You sure could do that. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna attempt it. I never have had any use for it.
Do you have that skill?
The 20 only. Then no, I don't know. Maybe. Is that nice?
It starts to go down when you push up.
Sweet.
This should work, I think.
Yeah.
And now William looks towards the passage closely with his pistol, kind of in that direction, and then looks towards Wanjira.
Okay.
All right, perhaps we should move.
We gotta wait for the lever to be up far enough that we can fit this box in. Is it?
No, all you have to do is push the lever up, and it
Okay.
starts moving. You don't. It's not like you're pushing on the lever and slowly moving it.
Mhm. Got it. That makes sense, and it's consistent with what you said before. So yeah, stick the clock in there, and Max will be ready to follow the clock in there.
Okay. And you put the clock in. Go ahead and make. Oh, you did fail. That's okay. Not so bad. I mean, you can get it in there. It's just there's no. I know you were trying to get it in there so that it couldn't be dislodged so easily. So, okay. It's going down. So what are you doing?
Okay, well, we got the clock in. Should keep going.
Okay.
This tunnel's totally dark.
Yes, it is.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'll. Ooh.
It's closed.
William looks towards Maxine. I believe she's still carrying the flashlight.
She would have handed it back to you.
Okay. So he takes the flashlight and he starts to move forward. Flashlight in the left hand, pistol in the right.
Okay. What is the general order that you're? How are you proceeding?
I think William is going to nod to Wanjira for if the passage is wide enough, like maybe Wanjira and William will be in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Lottie will follow closely behind William.
So kind of like this.
I'd say so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you're not moving in lockstep, but that's generally how you're moving along. Okay. So you have left the that area behind, and now this appears to be a tunnel that goes back maybe 20 yards and then starts to curve to the right and starts to climb.
You think we're going to the top?
I don't know. But I think we better risk the light just so we aren't surprised by anything. Who knows what's in here?
Okay. Great. Just be careful.
And as you flash the flashlight around, as you start to notice that there are scrawls on the walls. Little cave paintings.
What do the paintings depict?
Yeah.
One you stop to look over. It shows a strange creature with what appears to be a crocodile head and it clearly has a stick figure in its mouth that it's snapping in half. It looks like from the way the stick figure is bent in the middle. And there are stick figures that look like maybe they're dancing around the crocodile. The crocodile person. It's the crocodile is standing on two thick legs. And has a thick tail sticking out and trailing along the ground as well.
Lottie looks to this and says, I think maybe something along the lines of people raising whatever this crocodile head thing is, consumes people. Of course, sacrifice.
Gives me the willies.
Me too.
I think that's a good assumption. And William starts to keep moving.
Yep. As you go along, there's a bunch of different depictions on the walls, all vaguely, lots of stick figures, not all drawn exactly the same. They look like they've been drawn by different hands. But they have a very primitive cave painting kind of look to them, all of them. There are scenes clearly of a bunch of figures prostrating, kneeling, before vague dark shapes that almost look amorphous to you. That it's almost like charcoal shading rather than some defined shape, or scribbles and wigglies forming a vague shape.
Would archaeology help to decipher this more?
It might. You could try.
Oh.
I would say that your interpretation is of some of these pictures is that these vague, the more vague interpretations are expressions of uncertainty as to the exact nature of the thing. It's something that is held in the primitive mind as almost godlike, the unknowable, a being of utter alien origins and intelligence that is vastly beyond our comprehension.
Lottie might stop a few times to look over some pictograms on the wall. Says, well, definitely confirm that whatever, at least I'm assuming the people here, probably their forefathers and mothers thought of this place as whatever is here is their god sorts. Something that they higher above them. They're a bit vague though, I can't understand exactly what they're talking about.
And one of them stands out rather starkly from the others. And in fact, you hear Ingrid gasp when you shine your flashlight on it. There is a depiction similar to the crocodile you saw earlier, but there's no crocodile jaws. Instead, it looks like the head extends and twists and lengthens, almost like a tentacle sticking out and twisting around. And it is towering. The scale in the picture suggests that it is massively bigger than all of the tiny little people that are worshiping and dancing and running around below, at kind of at its feet and around it.
Does that share any similarity to her tattoo at all?
I would say there is a vague echo of the tongue sort of twisting around a little bit of maybe the circular pattern on her chest.
Hmm.
It's not an exact, copy by any stretch, but it's suggestive of it.
William looks at that and doesn't say anything, but he looks at Ingrid for a moment, just in thought of that, and then makes a comment.
When
Not the
when
greatest
you
artist.
when you look at her before you say anything, she's gazing at it with her mouth open, just transfixed.
And he kind of nods at that, thinking his assumption's probably correct. Maybe she sees the similarity too. So, and then he looks to Lottie, and not the greatest artisans, but horrifically fantastic.
Lottie nods. She looks to Ingrid. Sorry, have you seen this before in your dreams at all? This thing?
You're not even sure she heard you.
Ingrid. She puts a hand on her shoulder very gently.
She looks down at your hand suddenly,
It's okay.
and then looks at you, and for a moment there's this almost a flash of anger on her face, and you may even recoil a little instinctively, because for just a moment it looks like she's maybe gonna strike you with her hand that you just put your hand on.
Lottie pulls her
but-
hand back quickly.
But she stops and just says, "What?"
I said, have you seen this figure in your dreams before?
She looks back at it. I don't know. It is possible. I know this, though. It is familiar to me.
Does it mean anything to you? A distant memory?
What lies at the end, I think.
End of here? In here? Or, another end?
There's only one end, she says, and looks at you the same way she looked at you before when she told you that this was no place for soft hands.
Lottie swallows hard, turns away from Ingrid. Oh, alright, just keep going.
She just slowly nods in agreement and starts to walk on.
William stands there for a moment, watches Lottie pass him, if she is indeed going to pass him.
Stand behind you.
I mean Ingrid, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, she will if you don't move. Like she's ready. She just looks like, yep, she's moving on.
Okay, and then he looks at Lottie, kind of a worried look, as Ingrid starts to move out of his view.
Yeah, she's not moving fast. She's just moving steadily.
And he says, Ingrid, would you like to take the flashlight?
She stops and turns and looks over her shoulder, but doesn't turn around. And she says, I won't need it if you keep up.
And he nods. And then he starts to follow Ingrid.
You're sort of lighting her way, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not like she suddenly sees in the dark. Oh, is Maxine moving up? Slip, is Maxine moving up?
Just to be closer.
Okay, yeah. Wanjira kind of lets you then. She switches places with you and keeps her eyes behind you. She's looking. When you pass Wanjira, you know you're used to her being very stern and almost stoic. You can hear her breathing heavily, and you can see her eyes are a little wider than they were before. She is clearly not all cool and calm right now.
Right.
William's going to kind of move a little bit closer to Maxine as they're walking. Is Maxine a little bit behind?
Yeah, she's a little
Ingrid
bit
like
behind
this?
Ingrid. Yeah, like that.
And he says, he whispers, trying not for Ingrid to hear, but he says, I'm worried. We might be taking her right where she's supposed to be going.
Mac turns to William and just kind of leans over and says, yeah, well, she was coming here with or without us. It's got a better chance with us here.
All right, well, you follow Ingrid up this circular climbing passage, and as you go, the circular it's getting tighter and tighter as you go up. It started out as wide, slow turns, and you can, you're turning faster than you were before.
Is there incense in this area as well?
Yeah, you can feel it and you can smell it. It's just not as strong. Or at least it wasn't when the door closed. As you're going up, you start to smell it again, getting stronger as you go.
Like this.
Yeah, this is suddenly seeming like not a great idea. But we're here.
There's no one stopping us.
Not
Might
yet.
take them a while to
So,
fix.
yeah, you don't hear any. You don't hear anyone or see anyone, and certainly no one stopping you.
Yeah. William's a worried look on his face too, and as he mentions that to them, and he says, kind of like proving his point before about Ingrid. I think she knows we're coming.
Maybe it's just taken them a while to figure out where we went. They might not think that we would find this. I mean, it was just either luck or this. She kind of waves the fly whisk in front of him, or this thing actually guided us to it. We can hope. I mean, at this point, that's really all we can do.
You're also beginning to tell that there's a gradual change in the air as you're moving too. It's getting a little cooler, and it almost feels like the air is not as close. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe a tad fresher, even though the smell of incense is stronger. The quality of the air feels less stuffy.
Must be some exit to the outside, I think, up here. Maybe.
And Ingrid is very cool and calm. You notice, like she's just walking ahead, very steadily. She's clearly dependent on your light to see and proceed, but doesn't seem to be having any. She doesn't seem hesitant anymore, or afraid. In fact, she doesn't even look back at this point.
You haven't revealed any new map area, am I right?
I have not. No, but
Okay,
I'm just describing. You're making your way up.
Okay. Yeah, it's not actually very comforting that Ingrid seems so comfortable here. Max is keeping her ears, open as wide as she can, trying to detect any changes in ambient sounds, pursuit, anyone up ahead.
She does start to hear. She does start to hear some kind of chanting up ahead in the distance, faintly, kind of echoing.
Damn, that's not good. You hear that?
Oh, I do. Is there a way to discern? Are they speaking Swahili or is it something else?
It's really hard to make out, but you can try. You can use your language.
Sure. Let's get it. No, of course not.
No. You have no idea at this point. It's actually been hard to understand anything.
Lottie looks over and makes her way over where she thinks Windjura is and says, do you hear what they're saying?
Jira?
She just looks at you and shakes her head. You can see her face is a mask of uncertainty at this point.
William, you might want to dim the light again. Get closer, just in case.
I think maybe as soon as we start seeing light.
Yeah.
Yes, you do start to see light now.
Yeah. I think William will out the torch if they can have enough light to.
Yes, I think you can more or less see your way. It will, there'll be a little bit of risk in stumbling because it's not lit well enough, but you can certainly see there is light up ahead, torchlight.
And William will also whisper to Ingrid. Ingrid.
Ingrid.
To see if she stops.
Let's see. Yes, actually. She stops and looks back at you curiously, and turns back, and you just see her silhouetted head. She doesn't say anything. She just stares back. And you can see the faint light of her eyes, and there's something unnerving about it to you.
William gets down.
Almost like her eyes are glowing of their own accord faintly.
William gets down on one knee and puts his pistol back and then starts to take the rifle off of his shoulder. We need to get ready.
Max nods and finds her pistol. Ingrid, what are they saying?
She takes the few steps back to where you are, and she says, "It is an offering."
They're making an offering?
Yes. It is the blood of an innocent.
Narrows her eyes and clenches her jaw. Bastards.
She turns to you and says, "Don't be upset. It is a necessary part of the ritual."
Upset? It ain't a sacrifice, Ingrid. It's murder. It's only sacrifice when you offer something that belongs to you.
She looks at you and says, "We all belong to him."
Fuck that. Fuck him. I don't belong to nobody.
She shrugs. And she comes over and puts her hand on your shoulder, and she says, "Dear, dear Maxime, you are always slow to embrace the truth that is before you. It is a charming quality."
You listen here, Ingrid. They try to feed me to whatever that is, he's gonna choke.
She actually chuckles a little and she says, "You may be right about that."
Max suddenly looks at Ingrid. A thought flits across her face, and she backs up a little bit. Why don't you lead on? And she just kind of takes a step back toward Lottie and William.
Okay. All right, she leads on. I'm going to. You come around one last tight turn and it's been climbing a little steeper too as you go. So you're actually, let's see, Ingrid is in front.
Max actually kind of gets between William and Lottie, and she whispers. I don't know if they'll be able to hear or not, so I'll whisper.
No, they can hear. If you get close to them and whisper, they'll hear you.
What if we was wrong? What if it wasn't that witch on the train who sent those fire creatures? What if Ingrid isn't who she says she is? If this is part of a plan.
Ingrid just keeps walking forward. You can see here there are these massive columns that stretch up beyond what you can see, which granted is only maybe about 30 yards into this massive chamber. But they soar up almost impossibly high for what appear to be actually kind of primitive. They're not, fine pillars, fine crafted pillars, but they are covered in crude sculptures of tentacles and heads and misshapen forms all the way up. It's a little hard to even make out the details. And beyond them, you can see there's some kind of raised platform with you can only imagine must be an altar is what it looks like, a giant altar, and there's all these women gathered around it with arms raised up, and one in particular standing at the front. Your view is badly interfered with by the pillars, though, these big pillars. Wanjira kind of recoils and stops and waits with you, while Ingrid just keeps walking forward at a steady pace.
When Maxine grabbed us to kind of whisper, she would have noticed that William had his rifle in both hands and was kind of looking at Ingrid almost in a hostile manner, like he was thinking about maybe hitting her with the rifle or something. And especially when they were close to each other, and she was being so so weird with Maxine. And he looks back at Lottie and he says, "Are you able to fire a weapon?"
Lottie, she nods, looking up to Ingrid, just walking in the open. She looks to William and says, I don't know if Maxine's theory is correct, but I think the innocent that they're sacrificing is her. Points to Ingrid. I think that's what that mark is.
I think you need to forget about the weapon. We may have to pull out our bigger guns.
Oh, I know. I want to get up close and then I'm throwing this. She raises up Lindsay, the cage. She looks to Wanjira. I don't know if you should get too close. I know you want your revenge. I empathize with that, but well, It's your choice, your life. Not gonna stop you. I'm throwing her. See, that is.
It'd be nice to have someone that knew the way back if we somehow manage to survive this. Maxine does start to move forward.
Lottie stops. She looks back to William. Pulls him in. A kiss. In case you don't survive. I love you.
He kisses her back, and almost surprised for a moment, and he says, "I love you."
Terry. Be quiet.
When Jira moves along with you cautiously, and you hear a voice say, "Come, child." From over in the center of the room there.
Max has moved forward more. Can she see anything around the side of the pillar?
Yes, let me give you a little rundown of what you see.
Max is going to start trying to get to the back of this altar. If she can avoid being seen by them.
Okay, you get to the pillar. That's your last spot of true, concealment, really. Beyond that, their attention of these people is on what's going on here.
Right.
But you're going to be very plainly in their vision. Now, the chamber is lightest over the altar, and it does appear that there is sky, though of course at this point it is night sky, dim night sky light shining in, and just some torches around the chamber. So it's dim light. You're not going to be running out into plain, daylight, certainly. But it'll be a little risky.
Yeah. Well, I figure they're watching the altar and Ingrid. So she's just gonna maybe stay as far away from the actual... Well, this is a light source too, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are the torches.
Yep, and these are braziers that are burning.
So she'll split the difference and try to sneak in through that way, I guess. She's not running. She's going pretty slow.
Yep. Okay.
Crouched low.
Because you're going slow, so you're going to be careful and cautious. You're not rushing, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I will give you a bonus die on your stealth check then. But let's hold off on that for just a minute. Ingrid, when she says, "Come, child," Ingrid stops for a moment, and these women here stand up and part for her. And this woman, who's standing next to the turns and faces her, and so does the woman here. And she's got her hand out in a welcoming gesture to Ingrid. What are Lottie and William doing at this moment?
Lottie is... She is going to try and make her way down here and basically kind of over here. Is this a flat rock or is it a raised rock?
It's a flat rock, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think because they're all facing kind of this area, or at least they were.
They were there. Now a lot of attention is on Ingrid, which means in this general direction.
Yeah, she's gonna wait until Ingrid starts moving up here, and they
Mhm.
turn back to try and move actually behind this rock.
How does this altar look compared to this final step? Like, if you were standing on here, does it look like you could see over it or stand over it?
You'd have to climb up on top of it. The altar itself is about it's about 4 feet high.
I guess what I'm saying is, what's the difference between where she is? Is she standing over the altar?
She is standing next to the altar on the top step.
And where does her head, like, is she, I'm trying to figure out if she's, how, is this altar higher than her head? Or?
No, it's not higher than her head, but from where you are, the angle that you're seeing her, this side of the altar cuts her head out of view. You can't even see her from where you are right now.
Right. But when we were coming up, we kind of saw.
Yep. You were far enough away that you sort of saw the top of her head.
Okay.
William is like where he is at right there. He stops with Lottie and looks to the others, kind of nodding, and takes his rifle. I'm imagining he can only probably see watching Ingrid walk towards them right now, and probably this female. These are all females.
Yep.
So he doesn't have a shot on the priestess at all, or the witch. Just some of these, I think, right now, because that rock's there.
Yeah.
Can he see these at all?
Yeah, he can. The view is not great. There's a lot of smoke coming from these braziers, making this area. That's where the incense is coming from, you think? And it's clouding the area a little bit, making the people a little hazy to view.
Okay, and he doesn't want to get a shot from here yet either. So as he sees that, he probably changes his mind and wants to kind of get, I think, the same area Lottie is probably planning. You're probably planning to move there, right?
She's actually planning on moving up to the rock. But Lottie whispers to William, "Don't shoot any of the girls around altar thing. Shoot Ingrid. Don't let them sacrifice her."
He thinks on that for a moment, and he nods. And you can tell he's thinking about moving here.
To hurry, but wait until eyes are off. Then we move.
And he nods.
Okay. Ingrid stops at the bottom of the stairs and she starts speaking in German, which, do any of you speak German? I don't think you do.
Shelley did.
Yeah.
Oh no.
She makes a statement in German, and the woman answers in German.
In German, because I don't speak German, but
you can recognize it.
We can kind of.
You recognize the sounds, yeah. German is a very distinctive language.
It's always
a lot of it's just English words smooshed together.
So Maxine, I would say you're making your way at the most dangerous part right now if you're moving. So you may go ahead and attempt your stealth check with a bonus die.
Oh no!
No! I'm gonna push it.
You may push it, or you can risk one of them seeing you. If you push and fail, it's almost certain you will be noticed. So it's your call whether you're whether you want to just hope they don't notice you.
I think she's gonna hope they don't notice her. Oh my gosh, it's
All right.
a tough call.
Okay, here comes the spot hidden, and I'm gonna do it in the open, so there's no. Oh, wow! You got lucky. They do not spot you. There's a moment where this woman standing on here, who was looking at Ingrid, Maxine, you see her turn and look in your direction, but you freeze for a moment instinctively, and then she just looks back at Ingrid, and then you keep going after you pee yourself a little bit.
Leaving a little puddle behind.
Yeah.
That's what those yellow dots are.
Yeah, the haze didn't hurt either. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. That would have made it a little harder. So yeah, they would the spot hidden would have been with a penalty die anyway. So good call. So yes, that's good. So you can. So what's your intent here now? It's gonna.
She wants to sneak up behind here.
Okay. All right. So Ingrid and this woman have this exchange in German that goes on for, well, enough time for you to move up there, Maxine. I am so yeah, because these all have their backs to you. They're not paying attention, and you are being, quiet and slow. So there are bones on the floor, which make it irritatingly. You have to be really careful, but there's enough light near the braziers that you can at least see not to step on any, or more or less. And then you creep your way up, and by the time you get up there, Ingrid starts to move up the steps, and this woman steps down enough for her to get by and come up.
I think that's when Lottie will start to move to this rock.
Okay.
Being this far doesn't reveal anything meaningful on that side, does it?
You look over that way.
Yeah.
Actually, you see something very strange. I will reveal. So these are. So just first of all, you see something like this, but you can see beyond another fairly dimly lit part of the cavern beyond these pillars, but there's some strange throne area over there, and there's something on the top of this. It's like lit over here. There's some strange swirling reddish mist rising up continuously at the top of this raised dais, and there's something large and moving on the top of that stage, which you can't exactly, or a dais rather, you can't exactly see what it is that's moving, but it instantly sends a shiver up your spine.
Ew.
It's like a blob moving around. And you hear that if you heard that little cry, you hear a faint cry coming from that general direction.
A cry? Oh.
You'll hear it if you didn't hear it before.
No, I vaguely did hear it.
Mm-hmm. And you're not sure what's going on at the front of the altar.
Mm-mm.
So can Lottie move up there, or?
Yeah, go ahead and do a stealth check. I assume you're not going as slowly as Maxine did.
No.
You're making a rush for it.
Yeah.
Give me but because of the I'll give you a bonus die anyway.
Lottie.
Just because they're distracted and it's hazy.
She's not as concerned about being caught because she already knows what she's going to do no matter what. She just kind of rushes up there. Hopefully she can sneak, probably not. Yeah. Oh. Hey.
Oh my, that is an
Power roll.
awesome.
Ooh.
That is and the power roll was for Wanjira. She rushes right behind you.
What a lad.
Nice.
Ooh, she's not being as sneaky as you are.
I'm not being sneaky either. I failed. Oh wait, I got a critical.
No, you got the
What
bonus.
The
You got the bonus die. You got the bonus die. Oh, her stealth is supposed to be a little higher than that. 55 would pass. So she makes it up there with you, the two of you. When she sees you rush up, she comes right behind you and stops at the stone with her spear in hand and looks at you. She doesn't know what you're gonna do, but you can tell she's there. So you made it up there soundlessly, and flawlessly. You're at the stone.
Somehow Lottie snuck up. Wanjir runs up beside her. Lottie looks over quickly. Just
Woman
whispers.
scream, something we actually heard. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Lottie,
You heard what you heard.
Mm.
she looks to Wanjira and says, "If we die, either one of us or both of us, it was an honor to meet you. Die with honor."
And she puts her hand out to clasp your arm and says, "We will die, assist us," and reaches to take your arm.
Lottie takes hers with her good arm, grips as hard as she can, which isn't very, nods, and looks back to what's going on, pulling out Lindsay and getting ready to release Lindsay.
And can William move to this area here?
He can, and he can do that with 2 bonus dice on his stealth check. Yep,
Max-
he gets there, no problem.
Max has a desperate thought that whatever it is that's happening over there, or that is over there, if she can mess with it or screw with it, whatever it is, it might do something. Like, she doesn't know what they're hoping to accomplish other than releasing Lindsay, but she has a thought back to when they dumped Nitocris's corpse into the fire, and she just has this desperate thought that there might be something over there that she can do that'll be meaningful. And she's getting kind of desperate knowing that Ingrid, she's going to be sacrificed soon if something doesn't happen. So I think she's going to try to head that way.
Okay. Incidentally, this thing right here is like a big sedan chair made out of bones and skulls.
This is?
In the way. This thing here. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong. This there.
Okay. A big sedan chair. Oh, well, okay. Well, I guess maybe that's the priestess's. Well, she'll try to head this way, just kind of stay behind this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then head over this way.
All right. I will. You can do a. How fast are you going?
I think probably not a bonus die.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
she's getting.
That sounds. I mean, it's at this point, speed and slowness are probably about the same because you're either going to hope that they just don't look at you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're moving fast and not giving them much time to see you, or if you go slow,
Right.
it's like you're
It's
out
gonna
there.
be too late.
Yeah. So go ahead and try.
Can I spend the 3 luck points?
You can.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'll take that off.
All right. Well, yeah, that it works. Their attention is this way anyway. So actually, you pick a moment. It's more about timing. You pick the moment to make the dash when you think they're not looking, and you get kind of lucky.
Yeah.
And make the dash.
She's gonna, like I said, try to make her way around, but she's trying. Now that she's past them, she's probably not worrying so much and just kind of running in this direction.
Okay.
Just hoping they don't look.
This is a crack that you kind of have to jump over.
Well, she'll divert to go this way and up that way, I guess. She's not gonna go to a big, wide, 6-foot chasm and try to jump it.
That will bring you more in sight of these people over on the other side, though. So that is your choice. There is that sedan chair sort of in the way.
It's better than falling in a pit.
Okay. So I'm gonna need another stealth check, but I will give you a bonus die on this one because you're on the edge and there's a lot.
Well, I failed, but I didn't fumble.
All right. You can push if you want.
But they'll for sure see me.
If you fail again, they will certainly see you. Or you can hope that they don't notice you again.
I think I'm gonna push it.
All right.
Yes!
You made it. Nice.
What a gambler.
Yes, you are the gambler.
All right. Does she get a better look? I mean, you can get to the others, but
yes, you are getting a better look. But let's jump back to these folks over here. What's going on? This woman still has her hand out to Ingrid again after their conversation is over, and Ingrid steps up the steps, and you can see her reaching her hand out to take hers.
I don't think Lottie can risk it. Pulling that trigger. Lottie is going to, as they're kind of focused, she's going to kind of hurry a bit closer, and as she's doing so, open Lindsay's cage to release the lizard.
Okay. So you do, and as you move up, you can see this woman has a curved knife in her other hand, which probably doesn't surprise you too much. The one that is the other hand reaching for Ingrid. You rush forward. Wanjira rushes forward as well. And I don't know that she understands your intent, so she screeches out like a battle cry as she rushes forward with her spear.
Oh, that's fine. Lottie's gonna let her go. As Lottie kind of thinks it's her choice to die this way. She's gonna keep releasing Lindsay. Be like, let's go.
That's what you're doing. William, you're lining up your rifle. Who are you lining up on?
He's trying to get a shot on either the priestess or he was trying to get Ingrid. I don't think he can see her, can he?
Ingrid is actually easier to see than the priestess because Ingrid is now between you and the priestess, and so because you're below and they're above, she's almost completely obscuring the priestess from your vantage point. Not entirely. You could get a shot on her, but it would be 2 penalty dice due to the dark and smoke and her in the way. But it's not impossible. Ingrid would be a single penalty die. Which you are aiming, so that will counteract 1 penalty die of that.
He's gonna go for the priestess, I think.
All right. Is he taking the shot?
Yeah.
Okay. Your shot will start every time. Wajira screams out a battle cry, and you've been lining up the shot, and you take it, I guess, as she screams, because everybody, it gets everyone's attention. The everything stops, like they stop chanting. So go ahead.
And I think it's like a last minute decision too. Like William's lining up with
Mhm.
Ingrid and he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
And he's thinking about Lottie telling him to shoot.
If it was a movie, we'd
Ingrid.
see the sights going back and forth between
Yeah, and
her
then finally just like
Ingrid.
that
Yeah.
shaky, and then just like boom, boom.
We're looking down the sights, and it's like Ingrid, priestess, Ingrid, priestess.
And then he thinks about Ingrid for a minute, and he thinks, for like a moment where he was talking to her, and like maybe she smiled, and there's something still in there, that she's still alive. Maybe there's some way to still save her. And then the sight shifts to the priestess, and he fires.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh my god. She's so dead.
I don't know.
Your shot hits, and the priestess, you just see her disappear from sight when you hit her.
Oh my god.
And now it is initiative time because crap's going down.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Oh my god. Lottie's on the ball.
Yeah, she is. Damn, girl.
Lizard's getting released. Wait, yes. Feeding this lizard, I'm gonna miss her.
There's a lot of
All right.
flies in here.
All right. So, Lottie, you are releasing Lindsay. So you open the cage door, and you see little Lindsay turn and look through the bars on the other side, between you and her. You're like, I assume you're opening the cage door
Away
outward,
from,
right,
yeah.
away from you. She turns and looks at you through the little caves, and she kind of cocks her head and blinks a little bit, and your eyes meet for a moment. And you're not really sure exactly what it means, but you just feel that Lindsay's making a little connection to you somehow. And then she turns to the open cage, and it's almost like she has tiny little wings, like a cicada or something, or whatever. But,
Yeah.
and sort of hops out of the cage onto the ground in front of you.
Lottie looks down at Lindsay and says, "Well, get him. Support ya." She'll
Yep.
toss down the cage after that. Just kind of once Lindsay hops out, she'll toss it down to the ground.
Okay. These people here are a little slow to react. Some of them start pulling out spears. Or there are knives, rather large knives, like machetes. And others are just a little unsure what's going on initially. There's definitely a moment of shock and what the hell's going on. One of them rushes up. Actually, both of them kind of rush over at the top of the steps, and also sort of disappear mostly from sight. William, you barely see the tops of their headdresses as they dip down. I forgot to do Ingrid, didn't I? Yeah, okay. Then Wanjira rushes forward and stabs with her spear at this person, and
Nice.
and
Wow.
gets a nice solid splat on her. And this woman reels but doesn't go down. Maxine.
All right, what I do depends on what I've seen over here.
I would say all you heard the gunshot. That's what you hear, and then what do you do now when you hear the gunshot? Your focus was, I would imagine you've gotten to here, and that would be just around the time when you stopped looking back over your shoulder, and now your attention had been shifting to what's ahead of you. So then you hear this shot echo behind you.
So as she got to this place and before the shot, did she see anything else over here? I just want to make an educated decision.
You didn't really have much time. You were just turning there and hear the shot. So it's really a question of whether you're going to be focusing ahead of you or behind you this round.
Once the shot goes off. Yeah, I can't see her just ignoring that. I'm sorry, hold on. My controls are all screwed up. I need to refresh.
Okay.
I think she looks back, fearing. I think part of her knew that her friends had to be thinking of shooting Ingrid. So she would look back with just fear of what she would see.
Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense to me. And you see Ingrid standing there, confused, looking around her.
Do I see these people?
Yeah, you see a commotion up here at the top of the steps.
Okay.
And Ingrid standing above them.
What's the range on my pistol? I'm probably
you can do a test shot. It'll tell you what the ranges are. We won't count the shot. Just
Wait.
So the range is 15 yards is the standard short range.
I think she's got
Yeah.
that
So
done.
these guys are all mostly within. Yeah. The ones on the other side you really can't target. They're just not even really in sight where you are now. I mean, you could, but they would have massive. You'd have two penalty dice.
She's also got the sedan chair in the way.
Yeah. So I mean, as it is, it's going to be a penalty die just for the smoke
Mm-hmm.
and darkness again because it's not that bright. But
at this point, the only person I think she has line of sight on with the sedan chair in the way is that person.
That's certainly the easiest target. Yeah, that makes the most sense.
How far could I move and still get my shot off?
Not too far, really. Where do you want to be?
Maybe there.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, okay. Moving 3 or 4 yards and shooting is fine. Otherwise, I'm going to have to add another penalty die for shooting while moving.
No, she just wants to get a clearer shot at the big dogs. So
okay.
Yeah, I'll shoot at them.
At who?
This person.
Okay. It's 1 penalty die.
I'm gonna do okay, so she's at 1 penalty die and multiple shots gets
every shot when you do multiple shots, every shot gets a penalty die. So
okay.
You'd be at your shots would be at 2 penalty dice.
I'm spinning around aiming.
Okay, so you're moving there and aiming.
Yep.
Okay, so you're taking aim at this person there.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Ingrid just stands there looking around and looking down at her feet in front of her, looking a little confused. William, it's back to you.
Can he get another shot?
Yeah. That was a like an ambush shot.
Okay.
Now we're in normal normal combat.
All right. I think best bet would be to hit that one there.
She's Wanjira just stabbed her, so that runs the risk if you miss of possibly hitting Wanjira. She would be a much better target, this one.
Okay, yeah, let's go for that one then. Yeah.
Okay. So that's one penalty die. Not quite. And you do not hit the other one or anyone near them. If you had succeeded, so the way I was going to do this, if you fail with a penalty die but succeeded without the penalty die, that means it was close enough that it actually hit somebody else.
Yeah, that makes sense. Totally, yeah.
All right. So no, your shot just goes somewhere into that cloud.
I think he's still surprised from the first shot.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, oh, and then starts to reload the round and assessing what's going on, watching them charge, or Wanjira charge the other one.
Yep.
So.
As you work the bolt. All right, Lottie.
So is Lindsay just still standing there?
Well, she's you just released her.
Yeah.
So the question is what you do now.
Lottie's gonna take a few steps back and draw out her rifle.
Okay.
That's all she can do. Or can she aim as well?
If all you're doing is taking a couple steps and unshouldering your rifle, I will let you aim.
Yeah, she just takes a couple steps back and unshoulders the rifle.
And who are you aiming at?
Ingrid.
Okay. All
I think
right.
Lottie's very much sure that Ingrid is not who she is anymore. Doesn't want her to die by these people's hands.
Okay. So the one that just got stabbed, she's she drops to one knee, but she's still up. This one next to her makes a rush at Wanjira, who and Wanjira, she got an extreme on her power. I think she's kind of in crazy mode, so she's gonna fight back. So this person that pulled out a machete swings. Wanjira spears back.
Oh,
And she wins.
with 8. Damn.
Wanjira stabs, and this woman staggers back but keeps her feet. This one, the other ones close by, pull out their machetes, and this one tentatively moves forward but doesn't quite know where to go. This one backs up towards the steps with machete out. These all have pulled out their machetes, and they're all rushing over this way now. And these two are now crouched down. And Maxine, they make very difficult targets now. Your aim will counter, but you'll still have a penalty die trying to shoot, because their heads are bobbing up and down, and all you can really see are that woman's head and shoulders. So it's a tough target.
Mm-hmm.
Wanjira now stabs to try to finish off the first one. Oh, she missed. That is unfortunate. Maxine.
Sheesh, penalty die going on. If I aim for another round, do I get another
No.
bonus die?
Nope.
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 Well, I guess she's gonna fire then. Well, she sees Ingrid just standing there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's not hurt.
You don't know, but
She doesn't look hurt.
No.
Yeah, I guess she'll take a shot. Here's my Luger.
At
There it is.
Ingrid?
No, not at Ingrid. She wouldn't shoot at Ingrid. I don't think she
Okay.
could.
Well, you could accidentally hit her if you missed this one, because Ingrid is right in your line of fire. Right
That's
behind
true.
this woman.
Well, she probably wouldn't risk it. She'll move a little bit more that way, and let's see who else she can get a shot on.
She can certainly
That
get
person?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
That's one penalty die.
Okay,
Through the
she'll
smoke.
do that. Nope.
Nope. Close but no cigar. Okay. Ingrid staggers back down the steps and is now sort of in the midst of all these people swarming around her, just looking dazed.
Shout, wake the fuck up, Ingrid!
And Lindsay, right before your eyes, Lottie, you're getting your rifle out and you're aiming over Lindsay, right?
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, in your sights, you see Lindsay appear. She's getting bigger and bigger.
Oh my god.
That thing's horrifying.
I
looking.
love it.
I'm gonna do a print screen to show Aki.
Oh, please. I'll be so excited. Yeah, I think Lottie shudders a bit.
He's totally blocking your shot. She's
Shit.
totally right in your way now.
Dang
And
it.
she's growing rapidly. I mean, it's like a, you know, in the space of like 5 seconds, she's taller than a person.
Oh my. Probably take a few steps back. Oh, this is fine. This is fine.
William,
William is going to fire at this one, I think.
this
that
one? Okay,
Yeah.
that's still 1 penalty die. And you're, just a miss. Nope. Although you actually, you hit the person behind her back there.
Oh, nice. Meant to do that.
I mean, that's the thing when you're shooting into a crowd.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there are a lot of targets. You might not hit the one you meant to hit, but so yeah, and I would say that sort of you're focused on taking your shot, but you can see on the periphery of your attention this shape getting bigger, right? I don't think you'd know what that was.
Yeah.
It's just a thing getting. There's just something happening right there. Lottie.
Oh, Lottie is forgoing the aiming. She's gonna take a few steps towards the rock. So she's got a bit of a better view, and instead of aiming, she's gonna. You're in the way. I guess she'll fire
It's
at this
gonna-
one.
Yeah, and Wanjira is close, but
All right. Well.
and you're close enough. I'm not going to give you a penalty die. You're within 10 yards, right? I mean,
Yeah.
oh yeah, easily. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely smoke, but at this range, the smoke isn't that thick to cut off your view.
She pulls up her rifle and fires at the one next to Wanjira. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh no!
That was a very close hit, a very close miss. But you got a hard success, so I'm going to interpret that as meaning you were well enough aimed at her that your shot went to the other side, right? Not Wanjira. A regular success, I would have hit Wanjira. But okay, so it your shot just doesn't connect. Now these guys, this woman backs away from who's under assault from Wanjira, and these two. Actually, this one tries to stab Wanjira, who I think she's going to dodge this time. She's getting a little overwhelmed here. Oh, that's good. She didn't even need to. This one here is about to come at Wanjira, and she sees this thing growing in front of her eyes, and she just stops and gapes at it for a moment, entranced. In fact, a lot of them do. These guys, they're coming over, but they don't really quite know what's going on. They're looking on in awe at Lindsay. And then there's still stuff going on up there. Wanjira isn't even aware of Lindsay growing behind her. It's like there's this
would be a great scene.
this giant thing open with these side snapping jaws, and she's like fighting for her life here. She's gonna stab at this person. And she's gonna try to dodge. She fails, and oh man, she runs her through.
Imagine that Wanjira sees them start to back up in fear, and she's like, I am so bad at it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, I think that's exactly what she thinks. Okay, perfect. All right, Maxine.
She's gonna shoot at this person.
Okay, you can move a little bit if you want to, or you can stay right there.
Well, if
because I'm going to say, once you get to about here, you're not going to have the penalty die anymore. But then you're close, right? I mean, that's
right.
So basically, if you want, you can run and shoot, and you'll have a penalty die this time because you're running and shooting, but then you'll be there. Right. Either way, you're going to get a penalty die.
She'll do.
So. Okay.
Nope.
Nah, not a good shot. All right, Ingrid. And you still hear that behind you. The
That's coming from behind me now?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're moving away from that sound, so it's a little fainter. Ingrid looks around her almost panicked. And let's see. And she starts to run this way. And Lindsay continues to grow.
Oh my.
William.
Oh man.
Lindsay's taking up more space.
He sees that now. Can he tell it's Lindsay by the face, or?
I don't know. Make an intelligence roll. Yes, you recognize one eye as Lindsay's eye on the right side there. As it's because it's sort of looking away from you, but not entirely. So you're looking at her almost from the side, and you can see that eye looking around as it grows. And at first you don't have any idea what it is, and then you go, "Oh my God, that's Lindsay." You see its legs and its little, and its his little tail that's not so little anymore, and its tongue flicking out.
He is going to, since Lindsay's blocking a lot of the view now, can he move to here and take position there?
Yep, for sure. Here, let me show you a little bit of the area. Your focus is over there, but yeah, you can kind of see. See.
I don't know if he can still get a shot from that movement.
You can, but it's a rifle, so you're going to take an additional penalty for the shot.
All right. Could he spend it aiming instead, perhaps?
Sure, I'll let you do that. Yep.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, he just runs across after a very shocked look towards Lindsay, and then runs to that position there and tries to take up aim to find a new target, and that's him.
At probably this person, someone down here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Lottie.
Lottie is going to how far
Oh.
can she?
I need you actually, William and Lottie. I need you to
Sanity.
make sanity checks. Lottie, you get a bonus die. Actually, William, you get a bonus die. Lottie, you're gonna get 2 bonus dice.
I got a critical success.
You think she's adorable?
I
Yes.
love Lindsay.
Okay. Strangely, I'm gonna let you regain a die for sanity, which is
Wow.
totally weird. But that critical success, I think, means
Nice.
it rather than being horrified by Lindsay, it actually gives you this surge of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
And you feel this little connection to Lindsay, like she's on your side. Something like with that little exchange at the last minute, it was almost like Lindsay telling you it's going to be okay.
I think Lottie smiles in this, and in her minimal Swahili, she just says, "Alright, fuck you guys." And she is going to move around. And how's Ingrid looking, by the way? Does she look scared, or would Lottie even know that? She's not too sure.
She looks a little wide-eyed and confused.
Lottie thinks for a moment. I think she's just gonna take the shot in this direction and at her, but she doesn't really care, honestly. If she
The
hits
gods
Ingrid.
decide.
Yeah.
the gods
Let
decide
God sort it out. Yeah.
whether
All right.
she hits Ingrid.
Go
or
ahead.
not.
Yeah. You missed. Oh yeah, this is a rifle. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I aimed over. Well, I didn't aim, but I shot over towards her.
Yep.
But I don't know if a regular success would hit Ingrid, but
I
I don't know. It's up to you.
I'm gonna let Maxine, I think you care the most. I'm gonna let you make a luck check for Ingrid as to whether it hits her or not.
Nope, hit her.
It hit her. It hit her. And it hits her right between the eyes, Lottie. And she looks in your direction. You're not really sure if she sees you specifically, but she might. And she's blinking. And just stands there for a moment, and then you see the blood run down over her nose, and she pitches forward.
Oh, I think seeing the clarity, maybe at the last minute, or at least some confused clarity on Ingrid's face, this makes Lottie's heart sink as she watches Ingrid fall.
Yeah, you can make a sanity check for me.
Yep, that's
You
valid.
actually want to fail this.
I did.
You failed. You just don't care that much. I mean, it probably bothers you a little bit, but
Plan on
you-
doing it
you're-
anyway.
you're getting a little hardened to that.
She's planning on doing it anyway, so.
Yeah, you almost did it before.
Dang.
So now the bodyguards, they this one they start backing away, and they still have machetes in hand. Like this one though, she gets down on her knees. and puts her machete down. These are just backing away. And these are doing their things again. Wanjira, again, oblivious to Lindsay. Probably, as you said, she thinks they're afraid of her, and she lets out another screaming battle cry and rushes right at this one who's distracted by Lindsay and not really defending herself. She actually hits. She gets a bonus die because she's not even paying attention, this person. And she goes down. Maxine.
Well, I had been thinking about what I was going to do this round. And what she saw was Ingrid kind of, to her, stumble off, maybe coming to her senses.
Mm-hmm.
She did not see Ingrid get shot. She can't see Lindsay. And she keeps hearing those screams. And she's got to know what it is. She's not hitting anyone over here. She's thinking, I got to do something. So I think she's going to run straight toward those screams. Just take off.
Okay. You can get to about here with a run. Okay. We'll remove poor Ingrid from the list there. Lindsay has apparently grown to full size and springs to life and jumps over here. And let's see. Lottie, make a luck check for Wanjira.
You and Lindsay are one. You're like, fuck them all.
Yes. Lindsay smashes Wanjira from behind and just actually leaps and just lands on top of her and crushes her under her weight.
Oh my god.
And these people all look like, they're back. William
is gonna fire.
Okay.
But I think he's probably like pretty much firing just as Wanjira is getting killed. So I think this is gonna be his last time firing.
Who are you shooting at?
That one. I think that one's kneeling now.
She is. Go ahead and no penalty because you're aiming. Oh, a good solid hit. And she goes down. She is in a permanent position of worship.
And then he notices that Lindsay just crushed. I think if he can see that, he probably saw that, I guess.
Oh, yes. You can't miss that. I mean, it's right in your line of fire.
Yeah. He starts to look for Lottie, and that's him.
Or actually, he may not have seen Wanjira go down because you were aiming at her, and then you took the shot, and when you come back up to work the bolt action, that's when you notice, Lindsay now is right in among them, and you just don't see Wanjira anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard to be our friend.
Yeah. Lottie. Okay. Straight up shot. That is too bad. This is your what shot? I haven't been keeping track. I think that's what I thought. Yeah. All right. Jeez. I'm gonna have to roll a few here. Oh boy. This is the only one that stands her ground and draws out her machete. These all, I mean, she's backed. She's got like almost nowhere to go. She's backed into the corner of the altar here in the steps. This one backs away. This one backs away. This one backs away. They're like in awe. They don't know what to do. You can see they're just confused. And William, you see like this one look up to the altar like for instruction or something. Like she just doesn't understand what's happening here. And Wajira is dead. And this is when she stands up again. The woman at the top. And she looks around to see what's going on. But William, I would say, Lottie, you don't even see her. The only person that actually sees her is William. And it's only barely because Lindsay's in the way. So, but you catch sight of the woman rising up again. Maxine, you can get actually this far if you want.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on what she sees as she's approaching, but yes.
Right. Okay. I will widen this out a little bit for you. Not that you see a whole lot. You get a better look at the blob up top. It looks very fleshy, and you definitely hear, as you're getting closer, the cries of pain that sound like they sound like a woman are coming from the top.
There's a fleshy blob. Like,
yes,
it's not woman shaped, is what you're saying.
No, it is not. It is not woman shaped. It's like a big blob. But there's a scream. You are as you run forward, you are increasingly sure that the moans, the cries are coming from up there, where the fleshy blob is. Do you slow, or are you continuing to run?
She pulls her pistol now that she sees it's not a person. And I think she's gonna get as close as she can. She wants to see what it is, but she also is probably gonna end up shooting it. So as far as she can get this round, I guess. And
okay.
And then if she still can't really make out what it is, she'll continue moving next.
Well, there's these steps that get you up to the dais, to the top of the dais. You feel like you're probably going to have to climb up those at least part way to really get a good view of what
that's
this
the
thing
plan
is.
then. I have no idea what this is, but maybe shooting it will
do
something.
We are back to this side of the party. And I mean that like a birthday party, not so Lindsay's all excited now. And let's see. She goes this way, and she starts up the steps a little and lashes her tongue out at the woman that's cowering in the corner. Oh, and it's a hit. No, because what happens is the tongue sticks to her and wraps and sucks her up into her towards her mouth.
Dinner time.
William.
William sees the priestess for just a moment, and his eyes widen. He's going to start moving back over to this area, trying to get a shot.
Lindsay keeps getting in the way.
I think can he reload when he gets to here?
You
long is
can you can pop the cartridge out, and I'll give you either a dexterity or a rifle skill roll to see if you can pop another one in fast enough. It's you might be able to do all that in one thing. So go ahead. Which do you want to do? Is your dexterity or your accuracy better?
I think that would be let's go ahead and try the accuracy, I guess, on the gun.
All right, so just make another shot, and we'll use that as your reload. Nope, you do not. You get the cartridge out, but you're gonna have to reload next round, and if you can try again, and you'll get it in for sure next round. But if you can succeed, then at least you could get an unaimed shot off.
Okay.
Lottie. Okay, go right ahead. You can definitely get up there, and I'll let you make a climb roll to see, or jump to get up there now. Otherwise, you'll have to do it next round. Okay, go ahead. Oh, okay, spend the luck. You get up on top, so you have climbed up there. Nice. Yes, she does. She does. And make a luck check for me. She's not looking at you when you get up there, so she is not aware of you at the moment. You can see the piles of skulls piled up here on this altar, in the blood stains. Big surprise. All right, back to these folks. This person has to make an extreme strength check. She's struggling to try to get out of the tongue. She almost does. She actually strips herself away and manages to fall to the ground, and then Lindsay swoops down and just snaps her up, and she disappears. She was so close. And wow, this one is brave. She rushes forward and attacks with her knife. Her machete. She misses though. I think she's a little. She rushes, and then as Lindsay gobbles up her friend or associate or whatever, they were cult sisters, she steps back, just kind of reels backwards and swings wildly. These other ones, they are, well, now that, I'm going to give him another chance now that She has appeared. Oop, they all kind of rally. And they're just awaiting her command now, you can tell. These two start chanting and toning something. You have no idea what, but they just start speaking. Their attention is clearly on Lindsay. And Mueru now is aware. Let's see. She puts her hand out, and you hear and see both Lottie and William. You see it's almost like a ripple in the air shoot out from her hand, almost like, in those in like Matrix, where you can see the bullet trail and the air, the disruption in the air as it moves in slow motion. It's like a shock. Yeah, it's like a shock wave comes out of her hand at Lindsay. Let's see. So let's do Lindsay's con and that strength. And I am going to temporarily, she's pumping that up. Yep, she wins. Let's see.
Is that Lindsay's strength roll?
No, that's the strength of the spell. All right. So now she has to make a Constitution roll, which she made. Okay. But Lindsay is forced back into this in this brazier. And the brazier is going to damage her slightly. And she's pushed back and kind of stumbles backwards and falls on her back. Maxine.
All right. I'm gonna get. I want to see what this thing is. See if it's gonna be game affecting. I may have just wasted a bunch of time, but oh my god, what is that?
It is. Hold on.
A lady with a blobby body?
Yeah, yes, it is. The blob is blobby, but at the top of the blob is the upper torso of a woman. She looks in horrible pain. She's sweating, slime covered. Her hair is matted. And she's breathing hard.
Max looks at the blob that's moving and suddenly gets real scared, and she starts aiming.
You are going to have to make a sanity check on.
Yeah, I'm pretty much having to do that back here. That's repulsive. She
well, you made it, so you only lose. No, you still lose a die 3. So you lose 3 sanity. It is very disturbing, I'd say, especially as a woman. It would be very disturbing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there is definitely something moving around, in her belly.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, sweet baby Jesus," and gets down on one knee and starts aiming.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Back to Lindsay. Lindsay pops up, not happy, and lets out a squeal of anger or pain or something. And tries to lash at the priestess. And the priestess tries to dodge that. Nope. So Lindsay's tongue attaches and snatches the priestess back over.
Oh, nice.
William.
All right. William is going to move to here. Has he finished reloading?
You gotta make a check again.
Okay.
You do finish reloading, but you will not get a shot off this round.
Okay.
But you can move and reload.
All right. Do I have to hit anything to reload, or is it?
Nope. No. I mean, you already tried. You had a couple chances to do it quick and still do another action, and you just failed that. So you get it in. It just takes it takes longer than you'd like it to. You're fumbling with it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's in now, and you've worked the bolt, and so you're ready to take a shot next round. Lottie. Yeah.
You get the high ground.
You do. Go ahead. That's a rifle. I'm not going to give you. Oh!
Nice.
So that's a critical. So an extreme or a critical is an impale.
Oh,
so
yes.
you also do 16 more than that. So you do 27 damage to that.
You and that lizard. Oh my gosh.
So you can imagine that shot basically takes her head off.
Unbelievable.
Like a melon. You know what? That's almost a perfect angle with the critical. I'm gonna say you hit the other one as well. That's like it goes through her head, and I'll let you roll again to see what damage you get on the other one. 7. You at least got 7.
Nice.
Well, you've totally disrupted her. She reels down she tumbles down the stairs. They both their bodies kind of tumble down the stairs. That was a twofer. This person throws herself at Lindsay, wildly swinging the machete. You can see they're all when they see that the priestess has been sucked over there. I mean, they all rush forward. These two are the only ones that can get there fast enough to do anything. These rush over. So there are 2. man, they're obviously intimidated by Lindsay. They they dodge and weave and kind of try to swing, but they're too afraid of getting stomped. And they're all right. So now Mweru. Oh, let me see. What is she going to do?
It's like that painting on the wall.
Yep.
Accept your fate.
She's gonna do this. Ooh, she's gonna do the same thing. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So she is flailing around and she makes this crushing sign with her fist. And let's see. This is going to be power against power. So this is the priestess, and this is Lindsay. The priestess wins. Lindsay stops and starts to flail around, and the priestess plops to the ground. Maxine.
How good of a shot does she have from where she is?
Oh, I mean, you can just aim and I mean, you get a bonus die just for the size of this thing. But as you're aiming, you hear the woman say, "Have you come to get me?"
I think this horrifies Max even more. That it. Oh, geez, somebody did this to you. It's all gonna be over here in a second. Don't worry. Close your eyes.
She looks down and you can see almost where she takes her two hands and puts them on her belly as it's like moving and undulating under her hands, and she says, "He put his child in me."
Max's
Funny.
Mouth drops open, and she just starts shaking her head like in unconscious denial. Like she just doesn't want to hear that. And she raises her pistol and says, "Shut your eyes."
She says, "I always thought it would be Roger."
And she'll process that later. And she starts to fire, and I think she's going to fire off 2 shots.
At? What are you aiming at?
I think she's aiming at the woman's center of mass, like her heart area, like her chest.
So at the torso, not at the stuff below. Not the blob, but her chest.
The blob's easier to hit, isn't it?
Yes. Anyways, it's like 3 times as big as her torso. I mean, actually bigger than that. It's like 4 or 5 times as big as her torso.
Yeah, she'll fire at the blob.
Okay. Well, I mean, firing at the blob, you'll have 2 bonus dice. I mean,
Okay.
It's kind of hard to miss. So if you're firing off 2 shots, it's 1 bonus die each. Okay.
2 hits.
Yep. All right, you shoot. You hear, you can almost hear the bullets like going into jello. It's like when they enter, and you're not even sure that it
Did
did
anything?
much. I mean, it just like the bullets, the shots go right in there, and she says, and you hear the woman say, "Wait, don't hurt the child." And we will go back. Over to our friends over here. Oh, I forgot to shoot. Got to show there. Sorry for everybody, for the 3 listeners of our show. that's what she saw over here. We'll be more careful next time. So yes, so Lindsay, see what happens to Lindsay now. Yeah, she's on the ground, clutching and kind of like a beetle turned on its back is what it reminds you of. And her jaws are opening and snapping shut on air. Her tongue is flailing around wildly. William.
I'm gonna have to save the lizard. Oh, I hope so. He's gonna take his shot now that he finally reloads. He is gonna fire at the priestess.
Okay, no penalty die. She's on the. Yeah, I'd say she's on the fringe of the haziest part, so I won't give you a penalty die. That is a hit. She staggers but does not go down. But you're sure you hit her. And you saw her stagger this time. Like last time she just disappeared. You weren't even sure what happened. This time you are sure she felt the force of that. Lottie. Oh, yes, you the woman got shot. But she was like on the ground when she got shot. And you see her start to try to get up again, and she looks at you for a moment like she can sense you aiming at her. And you shoot, and it strikes her right in the chest, and her eyes go wide, and you hit her. She's still sitting up. These are gonna have to. Wow.
Like Christians.
The 2 in the back run.
You guys probably heard shooting from over in my direction too.
There's so much.
Yeah, that's true.
There's 2 shooting going on over there. I think it's so chaotic with screams and yelling. Like they might, a part of their brain might have heard a distant shot, but I
Oh, that's
think.
fine.
Yeah.
Let the bad guys ignore me.
But these two, this one tries to shield the priestess, and this one slices at Lindsay. Can't get through her thick skin though; it bounces off. Maxine.
All right, this time Max is going to shoot at the woman.
She looks at you sadly as you aim at her, and she says, "Penhugh's fault. It's all his idea."
May he burn in hell. And may you be taken up in Jesus' sweet embrace. But she misses.
Well, I mean, you can't really. I mean, if you're aiming at you can't really
Okay.
miss unless you fumble
Okay.
with 2 bonus dice. I mean, I'm kind of slowing. We're sort of having our own little time warp almost over here. There's this little scene playing out. I mean, you just sort of. I mean, if you're willing to take a couple steps up, you can almost be execution style. I mean,
Then she will just absolutely do that. She wants to put this woman out of the misery she's not quite aware she's in.
Okay. And as you aim at her head, she looks at you, and you see her sad, and you see a little tear form in the corner of her eye, and she said, "I used to be so beautiful."
Max just tries to steady her hands a bit, takes a deep breath, and nods and says, "You will be again."
And takes the shot.
Yep.
Yes. And and you shoot her, and her arms go, you shoot her in the head, her arms go limp, and a crumpled piece of paper falls out of one of her hands as she goes limp.
Oh. Mac watches the paper fall, not quite knowing what she's looking at first, because it's the last thing.
Yeah, it initially
expected.
like bounces off the jelly of the of her lower body, and sort of falls to the floor like a couple feet from your feet.
Almost a daze, she reaches down, looks at the paper, looks back at the blob, looks down back at the paper to pick it up, like as if she's afraid that, whatever's there, she's just still fearful of it. And she snatches the paper up, takes maybe a step back. She'll open it up and take a glance at it. Is that what the woman's face looked like, sort of?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's definitely her. Just not so gross.
She looks at the photo, and her hand kind of clenches over it, crushing it just a bit, unconsciously, in this fist of rage.
You would recognize. I mean, you've seen now. You've seen newspaper articles. It's Hypatia Masters.
Clicks, finally. Penhugh, Roger, the paper, the fact that Hypatia just kind of disappeared, not just, it just was completely off their radar too. This is what must have become of her. Max reaches into her bag and starts reloading her pistol. A look of determination on her face.
Her belly is still broiling and moving
Yep.
around.
That's what she's worried about. She's about to unload her pistol on it.
All right, let's go back to everybody else. Lindsay. Lindsay is still struggling on her back. William.
William is going to try to finish the priestess off. Is she still moving? She's still alive.
She's sitting. She's just sitting up.
Can I get a shot on this one?
She's on the ground, so no, you cannot.
Okay. He would shoot the priestess, I think.
Okay. No, not quite. Lottie. You can't tell. I mean, she's lying on her back. Her little arms are flailing. Her tongue is licking the air. Actually, make a power check. You can tell that she is in extreme pain. You're not even sure how you know. You just know that she is in extreme agony right now, and is gasping, the equivalent of whatever, gasping for breath, like her whole body is being crushed somehow. Yes. Okay. This one's still striking. This time she hits Lindsay finally. It doesn't look like it did a whole lot. But that's all lost in Lindsay's flailing and throws. You're not even sure what it did. This one is just trying to help. You're not even sure. She may not even be sure what she's doing for the priestess. These now run. They're running around like this. The priestess continues to sit and clench. Though, Lottie, you can see that her eyes are closed and her head is almost falling backwards in slow motion. And Maxine, we did a bunch of you. We're going to jump back over here. William.
Can he aim?
Yes.
At the hand there?
Mm-hmm.
As he hears Lottie shout that, he tries to take aim at the hand.
Okay. All right, that's going to be a tricky shot next round, but you're aiming, so that's going to give you a chance. Lottie. Okay. Just straight. Yes. Yeah, you spent a round to reload. You didn't try to do anything else, so yeah, you're definitely fully reloaded.
Oh, wow. Toasty.
Blew her away. Yeah, holy crap. Don't forget to check that skill off too. That's Yeah, yeah. Okay. This one continues to hack away, almost crazed at Lindsay, and it's doing like nothing. Maxine will get back to you after this.
Sure.
Lindsay, yeah. William, you've got your aim.
Come on, William.
It is a penalty die to hit her hand and a bonus die from the aim, so it's a straight shot. No, you miss. Lottie.
Just shoot her. Shoot the bitch.
Okay. One penalty die to hit her hand. You are unbelievable.
Oh gosh, you are on fire today.
Her hand just explodes in blood and tissue and goes limp. And as you've approached her, and the priestess's eyes just flutter open for a moment and look at you with just absolute hatred. And she says, "Coming for you." And we'll just play this. I mean, now you can execute her. I mean, you're right there, and she's not doing anything. She looks too weak to do anything at all. And she gasps. But you hear like a little chuckle almost as she breathes her last and falls over. And this person here is just still hacking away crazily with the machete and doesn't even notice you. I mean, you just can take aim and blow her away because she's just crazily going after. These two are rushing off this way, William, during all of that. And I'm gonna show you what's behind you, because now you're kind of aware. Right, they're moving. They look, clearly their intent is to move around and get out the way you guys came in.
Okay.
It's like they're making a dash for it.
Might have to stop that.
So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, he'll turn around, seeing Lottie execute the priestess. He's gonna turn and fire at the first one.
All right, that's one penalty die for them running. But you can go ahead. Well, that's a miss.
My goodness.
And then they keep running. Can shoot again. Penalty die. Are you shooting at the one in front or behind?
In the front.
Okay. You can shoot again. Penalty die. That one hits. And actually, she was already hit before. She goes down. The other one has to make a dexterity check. She at least avoids tripping over the one that went down. It slows her down enough that you can get one more shot before she disappears behind that rock. Nope. And she's momentarily gone behind that rock. What do you do?
He's gonna take aim in this area here. Can you do
Okay.
that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get ready for her. She reappears running. And this time, yep. So go ahead. So it's a straight shot with your aim. She goes down.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Nice.
And back to Lottie over here while that's going on. What do you do here? You've just shot this woman. She is still lying on her back and she's wheezing and she looks weak. Certainly not Lindsay. She's shrinking before your eyes. All right. You scoop her up and put her back in the cage. And she lies there blinking at you. And she actually makes little cricky crick noises. There are some, yes. You put her near a fly, which she, in olden days, she would have just slurped it right up, but she does nothing. She just keeps looking at you, blinking her eyes. And you can feel, you can almost, I mean, you can't really even hear, but you sense her labored breathing and you can tell she is fading. She just blinks and her little tongue sticks out just a little bit and then she goes limp. And her eyes close slowly. And William has just finished off the last one at this time.
Yeah, I think he'll walk with his pistol, make sure
Make sure they're dead.
none of them. Yeah.
This one actually isn't dead, the one that was furthest away from you. When you, as you walk up, you can see she's slowly trying to crawl along the ground, leaving a trail of blood.
A big scene about it or anything. He probably just walks up, and pulls his pistol and a shot in the back of the head.
Yep.
And then starts to head back towards Lottie.
Did he just in game terms, did he take the war package where he doesn't suffer sanity loss from? I can't remember. I think he might have.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, yeah.
I don't remember anything like that.
I don't think you. Okay, just make a sanity check then, William.
Yeah, because he picked this. I picked the spy.
Yeah.
know.
Right. That's not. You're not battle hardened. You would have lost additional sanity at the beginning. Well, you failed. That's okay. You in my version of Call of Cthulhu, you want to fail when you do something bad, because it means you're already a little crazy.
Yeah.
If you succeed, that means you're sane enough to realize you've done a horrible thing, and so, and you already had to roll, Lottie, so I'm not going to make you roll again. You shot Ingrid.
After that, it's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. I mean, comparatively, I'm not going to keep hitting you for that. So yes, William comes back, and Lottie is there with the remains of Lindsay. There is, let's see. There are some little bits, like she's wearing a necklace. She's got bracelets on. I mean, but you're not really sure. Like, I mean, she doesn't have any interesting objects on her. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly like a priestess's garb kind of thing. So, okay.
William. Sorry. William walks up and puts a hand on her shoulder. He's got his rifle slung back on his, and his pistol. He's still holding the pistol in his hand, but he puts a hand on her shoulder. You can see, like, in his face, he's very sweaty, and but he's like a worried look on his face. Are you okay?
And that's when you hear the repeated gunfire coming from the other end of the room.
And he looks around really quickly, and Maxine.
Yeah, you just hear 8 shots in quick succession, and probably by the time you get there, you start hearing more.
You hear 8 shots. Maxine, you start to sense and see, actually, that her belly is starting to split open.
Yeah, she takes her shots, backs up some in alarm, starts fumblingly reloading. She's afraid to call out for help because she doesn't know what happened back there. She doesn't know if her friends are the winners or the losers, why it suddenly got so quiet.
You can hear the sound of something pressing and splitting against the flesh, the fleshy encasing of her body.
She watches in horror as she continues to reload, and then starts to aim at where she sees it starting to press against the flesh, where it seems closest to the surface.
And now that you're back down there, it's kind of hard to get a good vision. You just see this blob kind of shifting and jello shaking around in some kind of distress.
Well, she'll shoot at it. I mean, that's all she can think to do is just keep shooting.
You shoot and shoot, empty your pistol again. It still keeps slurping and splitting. Now you can definitely hear the ripping sound of flesh.
Suddenly, all thoughts of the battle behind her are just gone. She's just not thinking of anything.
I don't know how it would, but you see the upper torso of Hypatia Masters just tumble down the steps. It's clearly detached from whatever was underneath. And you just see this, and you see her entrails hanging out, and you're not an anatomist, but you know that whatever was inside her, you see these weirdly shaped and sized intestines or tentacles or something that was like the insides of her connecting with this thing. And you'll need to make another sanity check for that. Ooh, you've already braved the worst, so it's just more disgusting for you. But not any more shocking.
I think at this point, she empties her gun one more time and then starts to look around frantically.
You see William and Lottie rushing up. And Maxine, I'm going to say your intuition tells you things are about to get really bad.
Oh yeah, you don't need to tell me that.
You just feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks back and says, "It's time for the lizard." She looks back. Oh, jeez. We gotta run.
Yeah,
we gotta run.
You guys now hear this strange, like slurpy, splattery, cracking sound coming from the top of this dais up there.
X just gets up close to them and kind of grabs them both by the arm and says, "It's being born now, and we do not want to be here because it's gonna be mad." Yeah, we start to just scarp her.
Yep.
Oh my god. Is there any way out of here from this location up here? Is this the top of the mountain?
You know you're pretty high up from the winding passage you took.
Haven't seen another way out, right?
You have not.
Well, let's just make a dash for it. Where's Ingrid? Somebody get Ingrid. Max just stops short for a second.
And you hear this kind of sound coming from the other end of the chamber.
X stops and scans to see if she can see Ingrid anywhere, at first disbelieving.
Yeah, you see Ingrid lying in a crumpled mess at the base of the steps.
Come on.
I think she lets out this just cry of despair and frustration and just kind of screams at the heavens for a second, and then mentally says, "I'm sorry, Ingrid, I failed you," and then runs back to the others.
Okay. And you run out of the chamber, and that is where we are going to stop.
Oh my God.